Starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Tracy Fitzpatrick, and I'll be your moderator today. Thank you so much for joining us here at Netcom Learning, a market leader in promoting lifelong learning, training, and talent development solutions. We're very to unite the workforce in the cloud. Presenting today's topic is Richard Dolker. Richard is a Microsoft certified expert with over 9 years of experience as a trainer and consultant. He has been a BI analyst and has provided a number of trainings, webinars on business intelligence and Microsoft SQL technologies to support a variety of organizations. Now, please bear in mind that this is an overview of a very robust topic. We offer a collection of technical and business courses that can be tailored towards your specific requirements. If you are interested in a further discussion, you can make an appointment with our learning consultants through our website at netcomlearning.com. Today's session is also being recorded, so you will get free access to the recording in the next 24 hours via email. Netcom Learning helps customers build innovative learning organizations by achieving a smarter workforce, adapting to change, and driving growth. We do this with a broad catalog of offerings, developing customized learning plans, and our global delivery capabilities. Since 1998, we've been empowering organizations with our managed learning services to help them build and reach optimal performance results and address challenges. We do have 9 practice areas in which we specialize, and they encompass people, process, and technology training. Today's presentation is from the Business Application Practice area. Netcom Learning does offer a comprehensive training portfolio for business application courses. And here's a list of our upcoming classes that you can see on our public schedule, which is right up there on your screens. First, we have Enabling and Managing Office 365, slated for June 4th. Performing Big Data Engineering on Microsoft Cloud Services will be on May 21st. Implementing Microsoft Azure Infrastructure Solutions takes place also on May 21st. And finally, Developing Microsoft Azure Solutions on May 14th. We can also deliver private training to teams, of which the learning plans can be customized to the specific needs of your audience. These offerings can be found with a simple search on our website at netcomlearning.com. So why should you want to attend this webinar today? Netcom Learning presents an important installment in its Office 365, How to Unite the Workforce in the Cloud. In this webinar, we will demonstrate Office 365 business applications and also explain how they impact the organizations as well as the end user roles. The webinar not only helps in the understanding of the factors to consider when moving to 365, but also explains Lowe's case study, Unite the Workforce in the Cloud. And now I'd like to give you a quick overview of the logistics before we get started. To begin with, you do have the option to adjust the window size to your liking. Simply hit the Escape key and find the Zoom button on the top left corner of your GoToWebinar viewer. Everyone has been muted except for our presenters. Please feel free to submit any questions you do have for the presenters here in the questions pane, and we will address them at the end of the session. A PDF copy of today's slides are also in the handout section of your GoToWebinar viewer. And now I'm going to pass this over to our presenter, Richard. And now you can take it away, Richard. You are live for your presentation.
Thank you very much, Tracy, for the introduction. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this webinar about Office 365, how to unite the workforce in the cloud. Okay, I'm going to slide this a little bit so we can actually take a better look at the screen. So, as Tracy said, my name is Richard Dolker. I'm going to be your Netcom Learning trainer today. So, for the agenda that we are going to be reviewing today, it's going to be about Office 365, a little overview about what is actually Office 365. How do you empower your mobile workforce using Office 365? Also, we are going to be talking about how to improve the efficiency and profitability as your business grows, how we are going to protect the business with this new view of the digital transformation and the modern workplace, which is really important now that we are not, now that we are going to be able to share data between different type of devices. It's really important that we know that we are not endangering our business and how we are going to be able to protect our most valuable asset, which is the data, the information, right? And also stay compliant within our organization's rules. And also how to achieve more with Office 365. We are going to be checking out at the Lowe's case study and obviously the conclusion, right? So before we start straight into what is Office 365, I would like to talk to you about the digital transformation. What is this digital transformation? And this is just about how we are going to be reimagining how we bring together people, data, and processes in order to create value for your customers, and also how we are going to be able to maintain competitive and have this advantage in a digital first world. Okay, what are the parts of this digital transformation? For example, how we are going to be engaging our customers from now on, how we are going to be able to tailor individual customer experiences, like, for example, harnessing data and drawing actionable insights that help us to increase that customer experience, right? Also, how we are going to optimize our operations, right? How we are going to be able to accelerate the responsiveness of our business, how to improve the service levels, and how to reduce the cost, obviously, right, with intelligent processes. Also, we want to know how we are going to transform our products, right? So we can go from something and change all this, gathering all this data, make it an strategic asset, right? And then shifting instead from a hindsight into a foresight, okay? But most importantly, we want to empower the employees, okay? We want to help the employees to achieve more by creating a work environment that is going to be intelligent, flexible, and most important, it's going to be secure, okay? That is what is going to take us to what we know now as the modern workplace. And it's a fact that by providing employees with modern tools and flexibility, the results are going to be in higher engagement and higher productivity, okay? This is the mission. We want to empower every person and every organization. We want to make it mobile first and cloud first. Let's change the mindset, people. We are not talking about more about that on-prem infrastructure that we get to know since a long time already, right? As we know, there are no more new releases of Active Directory. For certain new solutions that Microsoft is offering, you have to ditch that on-prem Active Directory and go for an Azure Active Directory, the one that is going to help us to provide this cloud-first solution, mobile-first solution, right? And this is going to be a solution that is going to help you to improve the productivity of your business, because then you're going to be able to use any type of device and work from wherever you are. There is no excuses anymore. Okay, so you want to get the tools that you need today. Okay, so for that, Office 365 is something that is going to be a complete solution, that it's going to be also integrated for every type of business. It doesn't matter if it's a small business, a medium-sized business, or even an enterprise. Okay, we want to get more done. We want to work better together. We want you to build your business, right? But also, we want to safeguard your data. We want to help you protect your company against external threats and even leaks that you may have with sensitive data. Manage sensitive data between different type of devices with the peace of mind that every single data it's going to be secure and is going to be under compliant. Also, we want it to be a simple solution. something that has simplified IT, that is actually pretty easy to manage, pretty easy to add users, to add devices, to add policies in how you're going to be managing data between those devices. And it is also a solution that is going to be backed by Microsoft 24/7 with online and phone support. So this is going to be worryless because it's something that is always always up to date. Okay, it's something that is going to be always protected. It's a protection that is going to be traveling with the data no matter what it is. It's going to be having a lot of incredible infrastructure behind it, like within the cloud. It's not something that is going to be protecting your data from your endpoint, but also whenever you send that data into any of the cloud applications and even third-party cloud applications, that protection is going to be traveling that data wherever it is. It's something that is easier to work with. It's something that it's nowadays Office has these intelligent apps, right? Applications that are meant to be easier to work with, right? And it's also something that is it's going to be helping us to work better together. It's meant to for collaboration, for sharing, and for communication, right? With flexible tools that go wherever your team goes, okay? And it doesn't matter if you have a team in England, if you have a team in India, you have a team in the United States, it doesn't matter. As long as you are connected, you are going to be always be able to share and communicate and collaborate with all your teams, okay? So work the way you want to, okay? That doesn't, what that means is that you're going to be able to get into the modern workplace, right? You are going to be able to set your own rules on how you're going to be empowering your employees, right? Now you have the ability to not only use on-prem devices, but also any other type of device, mobile devices. We are talking about laptops, we are talking about tablets, we are talking about mobile phones, right? We are going to be able to access all of our files, no matter the type of device that we are going to be working with. And we're going to be able to collaborate between users on different devices. So you can work from anywhere. This is no more an excuse, let's say, right? Because you can get it done from anywhere. Office 365 gives you all the familiar applications that we already know from previous Office releases, right? Like Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. But now, the best part is that you get those applications on your favorite device, right? And with certain plans that you may acquire, you can install Office like on up to 5 PCs, for example, or Macs. You can also install Office on 5 different type of tablets. That means iPad, Android tablets, Windows tablets, and you can also access to the mobile applications through mobile phones or smartphones, right? So it doesn't matter where you are. Office Online, the online service, it's going to be always ready for you in order to access to your data. Always synced data, always with the latest updates ready to be used, right? So this will allow you to actually work on your schedule, right? You can work whenever you need to on whatever device you choose. You can share files that are always accessible. This can be online or offline, right? You can join meetings, you can stay in sync with your team. And whatever it's work to be done, you can always go to office.com and the service is going to be ready for you in order to access your workspace, okay? So as you can see, this is a solution that is meant to be flexible and that is meant in order to be to enforce collaboration, in order to enforce this teamwork, right? Enforce your users to be able to do more in less time, right? Collaboration, seamlessly collaboration. This is something that is going to be achieved, for example, with tools like Microsoft Teams, for example, right? SharePoint Online, OneDrive in order for storage. But in the case of SharePoint, for example, we're going to be talking about that a little bit later. This is something that it's going to allow you to not only have file storage, but you can have external sharing, content management, right? In the case of Microsoft Teams, for example, you have this a hub for the teamwork, right? That it's going to let you to bring together all your teams, chats, meetings, files, whatever you need in order to have this collaboration, and at the same time keep it productive, and most important, keep it safe, secure. We are going to have that peace of mind that whenever, because this is important, right? Since we are now allowing to use any type of device with our workers, for example, we want to make sure that our devices are going to be secure. And Office 365 allow us not only to secure the endpoints, but also to secure the data no matter what it is, right? And obviously stay compliant within our rules. We are going to have a lot of applications, well, not actually applications, let's say features that are going to help us to protect our data. We're talking about, let's say, data loss prevention, right? Management services, for example. Office 365 Advanced Threat Protection, that is going to help me to control any threat that might come from, let's say, Outlook, right? From any incoming email, right? That advanced threat protection that it's going to have intelligent built-in machine learning, that it's going to constantly communicating with the Microsoft Secure Graph, which is going to allow us to stop the infected emails from even getting into our mailbox, right? So we are going to be able to have also tools in order to help us to identify the sensitive data, which is really important if we want to get compliant with certain tools. For example, GDPR, that General Data Protection Rule, which is going to be part of the European Union. It was supposed to start in May 25th, but now it's going to be starting on July 1st. One of the most important parts about protecting our most valued asset, which is the data, is that we get to know and identify the data, that we can identify the data and label the data, right? So we know the type of data that we have in our business and how we are managing and sharing that data, okay? This is the security that is going to allow us to have that peace of mind, because that type of security is going to be able to be managed not in every type of device. With certain policies and mobile device management, we are going to be also available, for example, to set policies in how we are going to be sharing or storing the data that belongs to the organization, even though they are using personal devices in order to work, right? We can set certain policies so certain files are only stored in the OneDrive that belongs to the business, okay? Also, we are going to be having tools that allow us to have more control on how people are accessing the data, accessing certain applications, having that possibility of granting conditional access depending on the risk level of the user, of the session, stuff like that, right? It's just security that is not only going to be part of the endpoint, but also of that cloud security that is only possible with the cloud services that Microsoft is going to offer. And most important, be able to keep compliant. In this case, we're talking about let's say we're talking about tools like advanced data governance, something that is going to allow me to create certain policies, certain rules on how I'm going to be managing the data, how long do I have to keep that data on my business before I can delete it, for example. And most important, keeping track on those policies, right? Making sure that the policy has the certain scope, the proper scope, so we can prevent any misuse regarding the data that we are managing. So they say, how do you empower your mobile workforce? There are a lot of questions that you should ask yourself. For example, can my employees be productive outside the office? Well, I don't know. You should try. Why don't you, for example, create a small pilot? A small pilot of people with certain people from different business departments of your organizations, and then you can actually perform this test and try to be if they get more productive with these new modern workplace ideas and using personal devices. It's a fact. We have talked about it in the beginning with the modern workplace. By empowering your employees, by being more flexible, it's going to be the user is going to be more engaged, and there is going to be more productivity. Now, remember something: by letting users to use their own devices in order to perform the work, it's going to reduce your cost of total ownership. Okay, and therefore you're going to be doing more money because you're not going to be spending money in a lot more infrastructure. How do we stay productive across the range of mobile devices? We're going to be having a lot of applications that are going to allow that collaboration no matter where we are, no matter the type of device we are using. No matter if we are using the click-to-run application of Office in our desktop, or if we are using the mobile application using a tablet or a phone. How do we enable people to work together from different locations? It's the same thing. We have this hub for teamwork, like for Microsoft Teams, that is going to allow us to do something like that. And how do I keep data safe? We talked about it. Now, this is something that it's, let's think about this. And under our endpoint, then it's going to be Windows Information Protection, for example. For mobile devices, every single type of device left, we have that cloud protection that is going to be Azure Information Protection, for example. That is the one that is going to extend that protection to the information through all our cloud services. So we have what you need. Okay, that's what I would say. You have all the applications that you need in order to be productive. You know, all those applications that we already know, like for example, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Now they have become intelligent applications that are going to help us to do more with less time, right? All those, remember all how we could, we have to create like certain type of layouts for in previous releases of Word or Excel, for example, whenever we had to do like the same type of job over and over again. Well, now these applications, now they start learning from you since the beginning, right? And then they will be focusing on that type of work, so you can actually focus on your analysis. Now, in the case of a OneDrive for Business, this is the one that is going to allow us to storage all the business data. And we are going to be having up to 1 terabyte per user in order to store documents, which is, I think it's a lot, right? Also, for OneNote, if you're one of those guys that like to take notes and have everything in order, now with OneNote, you can have your notes in everywhere you are, no matter where you are, and in every type of device that you are going to be using. And we have options in order to keep a communication available with our users, our workers, no matter where they are. That's for Outlook, for example, Jammer, which is some sort of an instant messaging tool, right, on which we can also share information, which is in a secure manner, right? And we have Skype for Business, for example, something that is going to allow us to meet and call and share with other collaborators as well. And if we want to create, like, let's say, our own personal identity for our business, for example, we have Publisher, for example, right? That's the one that is going to help us to come up with some sort of a branding, right? That's a branding tool, right, in order to create something special for our organization. Exchange Online. Now, I don't know you guys, but a lot of companies nowadays have moved, even if they are not using Office 365, they moved their mail service to Exchange Online. And why is that? Because it is less than it's really simple. I mean, in this case, you don't have to worry about having an Exchange server on-prem anymore. Okay, this is something that is going to be managed completely in the cloud, and it's actually simple IT, right? And every single user, it's going to be having 50 gigabytes of mailbox storage, which is also a lot. I mean, it's really difficult to actually fill up that kind of a mailbox. If you remember earlier, we had to use those PST files. I don't remember the name of the file for the previous Office or Outlook versions, but whenever it was like 1 gigabyte, they actually went to up to 1 gigabyte of size, then you wouldn't be able to receive any more emails, right? So you have to create a new file, right? And then you could keep the other one in order to, like, for historic purposes, but I know. What I mean is that it's less of a hassle to use Exchange Online nowadays. And even though those companies are not actually using Office 365, they are already using the Exchange Online service. OneDrive for Business, we talk about this one. This is the one that is going to help us to store every type of file and actually keep that sharing and collaboration available. And it's a place that it's secure. It's the best way in order to share business documents, okay? And in this case, we can set up policies on which we can enforce the safe of business documentation into the OneDrive for the business, okay? This is something that is going to be secure and a reliable place, as I said, each user with up to 1 terabyte of cloud storage. Skype for Business, the one that is going to help me to have some sort of an instant messaging tool, but not only that, with Outlook, I can set up Skype meetings, I can have calls, I can have meetings on which I can share my desktop, I can share my documents, I can co-authoring with other users as we are chatting, right? It's not only something that allows to have you audio, but also HD video as well, right? And if you need even more advanced enterprise cloud voice solutions, you can also have the same assets as Skype for Business with a lot of type of different IP phones as well. SharePoint Online, right? As I was telling you guys, this is something that it's going to help us to share documents. It's also something that is securely, we are going to be able to securely share the files and the contents with people that it's not only inside the organization, but also outside of your organization as well, okay? we are still going to be able to organize and manage content in libraries and lists and metadata. We can record the management and actually create retention policies as well. Okay, this is something that is going to empower that collaboration a lot, and it's something that is going to be built in the Teams tool or application as well. Microsoft Teams is going to already has integration with SharePoint, on which we can create working sites that can be part of our SharePoint Online server, and as well all of our team sites. So we can provide this place for our team to organize and collaborate on the content, the data, and any other news in order to stay on the same page every single time. Okay, we have communication sites, we have intranet. This is something that is going to be empowering our business a lot, and it's something that can also be accessed through mobile devices. As we saw, Jammer, okay, instant messaging, OneNote, in order to be able to take notes and take them wherever we want, use any type of device that we want, okay? Then, how can we improve the efficiency and profitability as your business grows? Okay, how quickly can we get new employees up and running quickly with the tools they need? Obviously, we need to know the type of workers that we have, but this is something that is going to be pretty simple. Most importantly, Office 365, it's meant to be simple IT. That means simple user management. This is going to allow us to help us to actually give access to the applications that every user needs in order to perform their work. How we are going to keep the files from getting larger, how do we keep up with the data growth. As we can see on in the case of OneDrive for Business, every single user has up to 1 terabyte of storage. And in your mailbox with Outlook and Exchange Online, you have up to 50 gigabytes on your mailbox, which is a lot. I guess it's more than enough in order to be productive, unless, I don't know, you're working with big data, then perhaps you're going to be using another type of storage solutions, obviously, right? Are we getting the maximum return on our investments? Eventually you will, right? Remember, since we are letting users to use their personal devices, from the start, we're starting to reduce our total cost of ownership, right? And the return of investment will come while using these applications that now are going to be intelligent with artificial intelligence built into it, applications that are going to allow me to create telemetry in order to have the proper insight and have productivity key indicators, right? So we can make sure that we are being able to do more in less time, right? And since this is simple IT, the simple IT that is behind Office 365, well, this is something that is going to allow the IT department to actually reduce the time on which they are going to be managing the users and how they are going to be provisioning Office 365 to other users, and spend more time on the strategic needs for the business, for the actual business, okay? So the Office 365s, the apps are getting better and better. As I was saying, I mean, this is something that it's going to help us to have artificial intelligence already in those applications. It's something that is going to be able, that we can access anywhere we are, right? With mobile applications, we can also view and edit documents on the go while we are keeping our data secured. Okay, this is a consistent experience between on-prem devices and mobile devices. Okay, we have some of the new applications that we have nowadays in Office 365. For example, Office Lens. I think it's one of those pretty neat applications, which we can use the camera of our phone as a scanner. right? So it's going to be creating. You can take a picture. It's not like taking a picture of a document, but it's going to actually scan the document, and then you can convert it into a PDF file and then share it through OneDrive, for example. We have PowerPoint shared button integrated that now allow us to more easily share the presentations with others. We have co-authoring now enabled, on which we can actually with other user actually start working with the same presentation and co-authored with the same presentation with a team at the same time. In Skype for Business, we have the same capability, right? We have the option to actually edit and co-author a document as we are on a meeting or while we are instant messaging with other user, right? Those are some of the new features that we have in Office 365 that improve the productivity of our teamworks, right? That actually improve how we are going to be managing the time and how we can actually achieve more with less time, I mean, obviously. For example, with the Skype for Business now, I can also transfer calls, not only from one user to another, but let's say that I'm taking the call here on my computer, I can actually transfer, and I have to go because I have to access to another meeting in the second floor, and I can take the call with me on my mobile phone, so I can keep on my meeting and without having to stop and then come back later and take on where it was left, okay? Also, the mobile applications are going to, like I said before, those are the ones that are going to give us a consistent experience between everything that we have on-prem, that it's part of the Office 365 solution, and our mobile devices with the mobile apps, okay? Our files are going to be up to date. We are going to be able to access our emails, our calendars, our collaboration sites, okay, no matter where we are, no matter what type of device we are using, right? So, sorry guys. As we know, with SharePoint Online, we can actually share files with people that are internally in the organization, but also with that people that is actually outside of the organization. So it doesn't matter where our teams are located, even if they are offshore, we still are going to be able to share those files with those guys also and keep working as if we were on the same site, because we can keep track on the chat files, we can keep track on the files, we can actually create restriction policies on how we can access certain data. Okay, on Excel, for example, now whenever we create a little table, we can actually, from this little button right here, or this little action right here, we can like create a new charts or visualizations like on the go, right? As simple as that. Excel now is recognizing a table that it's being able to be represented on a graphical way, and then it's going to help us to not just selecting the data and then have to go to the top menu and select charts and go to the chart that we need. From here, we can go and create the chart as simple as that. We have also the option to now create 3D maps, right, that can help us to discover patterns in the data regarding the location, the time, and a geopolitical context. In this case, this is something that is going to be empowered by pink maps, right? And if we still can't, it can recognize the actual location, we could use actual latitudes and longitudes in order to actually put the marker on the right spot. With Outlook, now, since remember before, when we were using previous versions of Outlook, we had to go through our computer, right, try to find the file that we just were working with, Now, that's a thing from the past. As long as we click, as soon as we click on the attach button and attach the file, uh, Outlook is going to bring up the most recent files that we have been working with, which is going to make this task a lot easier, right? Also, we can create, as I said before, with Outlook, we can create or set Skype meetings, right? We can also see how is the schedule of other users, let's say, in order to make sure that we are not creating a conflict with any other tasks that they might have already stored on their calendar, right? Also with Word, for example, now with this styles feature, we can actually change the whole style of our document without having to be selecting the title, for example, and go with a different type of font, or going page by page, for example. In this case, we can have different preset of styles, right, predefined, that we can use in order to come up with the proper style for our document. Also, we have the navigation pane or the sidebar, which is going to help us to identify a specific part in our document. And this is something that is going to be really helpful for those large documents, right? On which we can actually go to a specific page, table, heading, whatever. With PowerPoint, as the same as the, for example, with the styles on the Word, in this case, we have the Slides Master, right? So the Slide Master is also going to help us to change that kind of font, or the size of the font, the type of font, to the whole presentation without having to go from one to the other. Okay, this is something also that is going to help us to improve the time on which we can customize a presentation in less than a couple of minutes. Also, now we have the availability to actually insert videos, online videos in this case. It can be an embedded video, it can be a video that goes straight from the YouTube webpage, for example, right? And we will be able to have the playback capabilities, for example, in order to play the video automatically as the slides come up, or by clicking, doing one click or whatever. Also, with Skype for Business, now I have playback capabilities, the option in order to start a recording and stop a recording whenever I want. And this also is going to help me to identify who were the presenters in the recording, everything that they were talking about. We can go back into those recordings and make sure that we get the right insight about certain meeting. If it was like a marketing meeting and we didn't know the name for this new product, or what was the marketing strategy, it was a little confusing, then we can just go back into the recording and go through the meeting one more time in order to get the better idea. Okay, bookings. This is something really important, because this is something that is going to help you to improve your customer experience. Something that if it's well done, then it's going to help you to actually improve the experience of the user, of the customer. And in this case, it's going to help you to delight the customer, it's going to help you to save time, and most importantly, decrease the no-shows in certain meetings, okay? Because it's going to help you to manage those meetings, help the customer to come up with their own time, right? And make sure that you have staff available for that meeting in order to be to create a better customer experience. We have to go a little bit faster. The time is running out. Groups. Groups is something that we can create in order to share certain files, certain emails. We can have a shared mailbox with these groups, for example, that are meant in order to, let's say, to actually keep track on certain core projects, for example, right? Video with streams, where you can manage add videos depending on the type of video, and the topics. They can be about production, about the products that you use for health, wellness, the workplace, whatever. Delve, this is your social network in your organization, something that is going to help you to share important insights about certain topics, about what is new in your business, and it's going to help you to improve your collaboration within your co-workers. Right? And business intelligence for everyone. Business intelligence, artificial intelligence that is already built into the applications. Excel that now has these power apps that improve the business application needs for a self-service BI. Not to mention Power BI, which is a business intelligence power tool in this case. Microsoft Teams, we already talked about that. That might help in order to improve the collaboration experience, something that is going to allow us to share not only the files, not only the documentation of our project. We can have several projects in the same, you can be part of different projects within your own team application. You can keep track on the chats. You can actually have your working site that it's going to be also part of the SharePoint, since it has integration with SharePoint and OneDrive and whatnot. As you can see, this is some of the images of team. This is a chat from the team, from the Teams application. You also have voice chat with Teams, right? And this is something that I use a lot, actually. This is something that is actually pretty useful regarding collaboration. It has been helping me a lot with my projects. So, cross-platform experiences, this is something that we know that we can use not only on-prem devices, but mobile devices as well. This is going to be a consistent experience between every single device that we use. How we are going to be protecting our business, okay? For that, we are going to be having applications that are going to help us to protect the data no matter the type of device that we have. Mobile application management are going to help us to set the rules on how we are going to be sharing the data within mobile devices and how we are going to be managing the data as well. Okay, we are going to be having rights management service. In this case, let's understand this. Data loss prevention, it's going to help me to identify the type of data that I'm using, while right management service is the one that is going to help me to protect it. Okay, in this case, we are going to be able to actually restrict or unrestrict the access to certain data. Okay, the compliance center is going to help me to check on my policies, for example, on how I am managing the data. Make sure that all my policies are being enforced properly, and all of them have the right scope, right? And that people are actually managing the data and the applications as they should, and I'm compliant with my rules. E-discovery is going to help me to identify sensitive data, okay? Data that it's important, and how I can keep that identification of the data no matter where it is, okay? Data loss prevention, also something that is going to help me to identify sensitive data, help me to label the data, and persist that label on the data, on the file, no matter where it is, okay? Encryption. This is something that is going to be possible with Windows Information Protection, Azure Information Protection, and also mobile application management. Something that is going to help me to work with what we call Windows enlightened apps like Office 365. In this case, I can make sure that I'm going to be able to encrypt the data file that belongs to the business, and so I don't hurt the personal data of the user, of their person and their personal devices. Okay, so As you can see, Office 365, it's a solution that is going to help us to achieve more, not only because it's the best, it has the best tools for collaboration and for sharing files and secure the files and be able to have that security, that it's intelligent, that it's advanced, and that it's going to be traveling with those data and files and sharings and devices no matter where they are. It's something that is going to help me to actually access to my business documents no matter where I am and no matter the type of device that I'm going to be using. Okay, in this case, Lowe's, actually, if you know this store, something like a Homar, right? They are has moved to the cloud. So in this, with this, they have empowered employees, right? And they have created a personalized customer experience. And it's not just like that. With this digital transformation that Lowe's have engaged, now they have been working with even virtual reality and augmented reality. And even they have come up with data and insights that they have they have helped them in order to improve the productivity within their workers and their stores, right? So the new Office, we want to worry less. It's something that has multi-factor authentication, something that I can empower depending on conditional access, depending in a lot of features, actually, depending on the risk of the user or the session, I can empower multi-factor authentication, right? It's something that is going to help me to create data loss prevention policies, up to 80 different policies that I can come up with using data loss prevention. Also, this is something that has been that it's somehow integrated with Windows Hello. Windows Hello is the one feature of Windows, obviously, that it's going to allow me to have that single sign-on experience. And since Office 365 is part of this new digital trend, with while it's integrated with Windows Hello, I will have this single sign-on experience not only for the session of my device, but also to the access of my Office 365 applications and mobile applications as well. We can manage the updates, how we are going to be updating the device. It's easier to work with. We can co-authoring. We have modern attachment, shared notebooks, Skype meetings, collaboration tools like Teams. We have SharePoint, right? Smart Lookup, everything that we need in order to work together, work easier, and worry less, no matter the type of device that we use, and no matter where we are. No, as soon as we have an internet connection, we are going to be able to access our Office services, applications, and business documents as well. So it's built for teamwork. We have co-authoring. We have Skype meetings, right? We have, obviously it's built for Windows 10. It's something that is going to take a lot of advantage of a Windows 10 Pro device, okay? Because it's going to be taking advantage of that enhanced security that comes with Windows 10. It's going to be something that is going to be working for you with advanced insights, with advanced telemetry, with artificial intelligence and machine learning. And obviously is the most secure Office ever, because it's going to be always up to date. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This was this is everything that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Now we have a little time for some Q&A.
Thank you so much, Richard. That was most informative, and we want to let all our attendees today remind you that we are celebrating our 20th anniversary, here to serve you with the best in-class IT and business certification training, and we are bringing you an unbeatable 20th year celebration offer this month to make your learning even more fantastic. We are offering up to 50% off on some of our popular courses, so definitely take advantage of that. Netcom Learning does offer a comprehensive portfolio for business application courses, and you can check all those out on your screen. So make sure you want to sign up for a few of those. And team training can also be customized and accelerate to meet your organization's specific needs. And you can contact us today to be connected to one of our learning consultants to help you advise on your specific needs. Or you can simply email us at webinar@netcomlearning.com or search our catalog at netcomlearning.com as well. And we all know technical skills are necessary to empower our careers, but do you need to improve or upgrade leadership skills as well in order to accelerate your career? Along with your technical abilities, develop the skills you need to manage yourself, others, and business better. Welcome to Starter Learning, a collaborative knowledge platform bringing the world's best business and leadership insights from Fortune 1000 leaders, best-selling authors, and Ivy League professors. Further, if you are interested in it, learning from the top American leaders, you can log on to the e-learning platform at starterlearning.com and avail the very special promotion meant for first-time users. You can use your coupon code STARTER10 and begin your leadership journey now. And right now we are going to launch a quick poll to find out how many of you may be interested in taking some additional training, so please take a few moments to fill that out. And we also have a lot more informative webinars coming up, so go to netcomlearning.com/webinars in order to register. Don't forget to like and follow our social media pages to get the latest technology updates. You can refer to our GoToWebinar chat window for all of our links on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+. So do check that out as well. And now let's get to some of those questions, Richard. We have a little bit of time left. First one is from, let's see, David would like to know, throughout this webinar, are you describing Word Online, Excel Online, or are these features you are describing also included in the locally installed versions of these programs?
Well, actually, with Office 365, we get the chance to, if we access through the office.com, we have access to all the online applications, and those are going to be including Word, Excel, PowerPoint, no matter what. But still, we have the chance to actually download click-to-run version, which is called applications of most of those applications into our computer and also into our mobile devices as well. So we have kind of the both, right? Even though if we are not in our device, we can access to the office.com and work with our online versions of the applications. And if we are using our own device, we might have access to the downloaded versions that we get with our subscription, which is a click-to-run version of Office 365, and both work the same.
Okay, got a couple more questions we can squeeze in. This is from Tricia. How easy is it to change out users and permissions for group collaboration if you work with committees whose members may change every year?
Well, in this case, it all depends how you want to manage those users, because from the admin side in Office, you can create the groups, right? You can create groups, and you can then move the users that you already have from in and out from those groups, right? And those groups are the ones that are going to be having this custom, let's say, properties, right? So if those groups are going to be changing a lot, perhaps instead of changing the group properties, you only leave the groups as they are, and then you just add and remove users from those groups as you see fit. And that is all available through the site admin of the Office 365. But also you can create groups on Microsoft Teams that may have certain capabilities as well, and that will help you for certain core projects, for example. It all depends on which level you want to managing those users, right? And the type of applications that they're going to be using, right?
Okay. Jerry's question, how are data protected against third party as MS Cloud stuff itself, for example, just in entire cloud?
Okay, if I understand correctly, how we can protect our data from third-party, well, while using also third-party cloud applications would be, If that is kind of the question, yes, well, a lot of these security features, right, are going to be not only depending from the solution that we have or the plan that we own of Office 365, but also are going to take advantage of all the, let's say, the EMS solution that we have as well. Remember that EMS goes for Enterprise Mobility Plus Security, and that is the one that is going to be enabling a lot of security regarding cloud third-party applications and also third-party cloud applications as well. That would be Azure Information Protection, that depending on the level of the Azure Active Directory Premium level that we have, 1 or 2, and also Cloud App Information Protection with Azure.
Okay,
Right?
thank you, Richard. Yes, we are out of time, and thank you all for joining us today. If you do come up with any additional questions, feel free to send them to webinar@netcomlearning.com at any time. We hope you found today's webinar informative, and we look forward to seeing you back here with us soon. Feel free to tell your friends and colleagues about our webinars and other courses. Have a great day, everyone.